The early 70s were a time when firefighters were struggling to gain collective bargaining rights. As individual bargaining units, the locals were devoid of any real power. They engaged in battles with city managers, mayors, and other elected officials. Two men emerged to lead the firefighters. It was not by design that they were thrust together. The staff representative of the International Association of Firefighters and the young lawyer's paths crossed at various times in different cities. The staff representative was Michael Lass. He was often summoned by various locals to seek recognition, or he was called in to assist well-established locals during deadlocked negotiations. Many times he was in need of a legal opinion, and he would seek assistance from a young lawyer, J. Dale Berry. The two soon developed a friendship and trust, and it was this friendship and trust that enabled the firefighters throughout Illinois to secure collective bargaining rights. Their backgrounds were different. Lass drew upon his background in labor history, civil rights, and Vietnam, while Berry drew upon his background of college protests and social reform while attending the University of Michigan. They transferred the tactics of social reform in the 60s to the firefighter struggle of the 70s, and by working as a team and using what they had learned at the preceding job actions, Mike Lass and J. Dale Berry developed strategies and tactics that enabled the local unions to secure their contracts. The following is a tribute to Mike Lass and Dale Berry, and the words and pictures of those who participated in the struggle.
Mike Lass and Dale Berry were the keys to these strikes that took place throughout the state, beginning in Springfield and up through and including Chicago. I don't believe that without those two people that we would have ever been successful in a lot of these strikes. They were a team that worked very, very well together. There was some chemistry between them that I can't really explain, but I do know that when they were in a room together and they were planning their strategies on a minute-by-minute basis, they complemented one another very well. I worked with them in several of these strikes, and I can tell you that they never ceased to amaze me with their talent and their abilities, and we've remained friends throughout all these years, I think because of the things that took place in the 70s.
I'll tell you, I get a little emotional when I think about this because without those two guys, we would have never made it. And I know there are lots of people who never liked Mike Lass, but I tell you what, that is one of the sharpest, nicest men I've ever met in my life. And so is Dale Berry. We had our faith, we put our faith in Mike Lass. And our attorney, who is still our attorney, Dale Berry. I think that I had no qualms in anything that Dale Berry or Mike Lass ever said to me that I didn't believe 100% plus that what they were telling me was the gospel and what they were saying we could do if we did this, that we could do. It was you had to see them operate. They worked so well together as a team. It was like almost like good cop, bad cop. They, in fact, Mike Lass at one time was referred to by the local media as the hired gunslinger. It was brought into Aurora. What one didn't know, the other one did, and between the two of them, there wasn't hardly anything about labor law and firefighting and stuff like that that they were on top of.
But Lass, through his involvement with the International, had been on all kinds of work slowdowns, involved in strikes, was knowledgeable on how to prepare a union to go on strike, which was real important. I mean, if you weren't prepared, you could go out there and you'd be lost. I mean, he was important on how to structure it, who was going to be in charge, the day-to-day operation, your pickets, setting your pickets up, what to tell your memberships, the rallies and support meetings that you had to have. You had to let the guys out there walking the picket lines 24 hours a day had to be informed. You know, they had to be up on what was going on. And so he took the leadership in the local at that time and sat down with us and got us prepared to go out there and present it to the membership. So they both brought in different things, and they just were able to gel and really work well together. And that was just a super, super plus. Dale Berry was the chief negotiator, but Mike Lass was right there. I mean, in on all the meetings. And like I say, it's no doubt, and I've told both of them, you know, we wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for them. It's just a fact.
Mike and Dale were like, if you watch TV, it's a good cop, bad cop. That's how they operate. I mean, Mike was the one that was confrontational. It was kind of fun to watch him, really, when you got right down to it, because they work it, and they worked so many confrontations together, acts before us and after us. Mike was, once the line was drawn, there was no stopping Mike. This is the way it's got to be done, and that's the way you tell, you know, we just organized a new union. A few of us had a little bit of union upbringing, but as far as negotiations and tactics and stuff, yeah, sure, we had outside people in here. We had to have.
The contributions of Mike Lass and J. Dale Berry did not end with the final strike in Chicago in 1980, or the passage of the collective bargaining bill in 1985. Mike Lass continued to organize new locals and negotiate initial collective bargaining agreements throughout the state. His negotiating skills and contract writing skills are evident in numerous contracts in existence today. In the mid-1980s, Mike was employed by the Associated Firefighters of Illinois as their database manager and developed both the demographic and wage and hour databases used by local members today. He also assisted numerous locals with hearings before the Illinois Labor Board and arbitration panels, and helped set the standards by which arbitration hearings are conducted today. When the battleground switched from the picket line to the courtroom, J. Dale Berry continued to represent both the AIFF and various locals throughout the state of Illinois. He was instrumental in winning major battles in communities like Franklin Park, Decatur, Evanston, Skokie, and East St. Louis. Together, Mike Lass and J. Dale Berry should be recognized as true friends of firefighters in Illinois. Hopefully, this small tribute can somehow repay them for their years of dedication and strong leadership provided to the Associated Firefighters of Illinois. Without these two men, firefighters would not enjoy the benefits they have today, and the conditions in the firehouse would be drastically different. We'd like to say thank you, Mike Lass, and thank you, J. Dale Berry.